The night my family showed up with suitcases, champagne, and fake smiles. They thought they were moving into their new floors. The penthouse for my brother, the second floor for my aunt, and the ground shop for my cousin. But what they didn't know was that every key they held was useless, because I had already changed every lock, every code, and every single name on the deed. They thought they played me. They had no idea I'd been watching their little secret group chat for months, reading every message, every plan, and every betrayal hidden behind their fake affection. My name's Ethan Walker, and the building they tried to steal wasn't just real estate. It was my father's dream. He built it from nothing, after decades of backbreaking work. When he passed, the will clearly stated that the building should stay in one piece under the care of the most responsible heir. That was me. But responsibility doesn't mean stupidity. My family thought I'd be too emotional, too trusting, and too naive to notice their little scheme. They were wrong. One evening, I was setting up a slideshow for Dad's memorial when I accidentally opened my mom's old tablet. On the screen was a group chat named Division Plan. My brother had texted, "Penthouse is mine, Aunt Linda gets the second floor, and Sam can have the store downstairs. We'll make Ethan sign the papers when he's emotional after the memorial." My hands shook as I scrolled. My aunt was laughing about how I'd never see it coming. My cousins were already talking about furniture and paint colors. It wasn't just greed. It was betrayal disguised as family. That night I sat in silence, staring at my father's old photo, and I promised him I wouldn't let his legacy become their loot. But instead of confronting them, I did something they never expected. I smiled, and I started planning my own move. For weeks, I'd acted completely normal. I attended dinners, laughed at their jokes, even offered to help them plan renovations. But behind the scenes, I was visiting lawyers, notaries, and locksmiths. I quietly transferred the property title into a private company under my name. I changed every lock in the building and installed digital security systems they didn't even know existed. Each night, I walked through those empty halls, imagining their faces when their keys no longer fit. The same night I made the final deed transfer, I received a screenshot from an unknown number. It was from their group chat. They were planning a move-in day celebration that Saturday. I couldn't resist replying, "See you there." Saturday came. They arrived one by one. My brother in sunglasses, holding a bottle of champagne. Aunt Linda in heels and pearls, pretending to be the queen of her floor. And Sam with a truck full of furniture. They smiled at me like I was invisible. My brother said, "You can stay in the basement if you want, Ethan." I said nothing, just watched them struggle with their keys. Click, twist, nothing. Confusion turned to panic. My aunt shouted, "Ethan, did you change the locks?" I smiled. "Oh, didn't you see the new deed? It's not your building anymore." I handed them a stack of printed screenshots, their own group chat, every plan they ever made, neatly filed behind legal documents, signed and stamped. They laughed nervously at first, thinking it was a joke. But then, my lawyer stepped out of the car behind me with court papers. "These are notices of trespassing," he said calmly. "You're all standing on private property owned by Walker Holdings, LLC." My brother's face turned red. Aunt Linda tried to yell about family and forgiveness. But the locksmith beside me started changing the locks again, right in front of them. Every click echoed like justice. When they realized I wasn't bluffing, the champagne bottle slipped from my brother's hand and shattered across the pavement. That night, I sat on the rooftop alone, watching the city lights reflect off the glass walls my father once polished himself. My phone buzzed with messages from the group chat they once used to plot against me. "Ethan, let's talk. We're sorry. Please open the doors." I didn't reply. I muted the chat, locked the building's security system, and whispered to the night, "Dad, I kept your promise." By midnight, the building stood silent and empty, except for me. The locks were new, the deed was mine, and for the first time in years, I finally had peace. Revenge hadn't just been about keeping the building. It was about showing them that loyalty can't be bought, and betrayal always costs more than money. They tried to divide a $3 million building with lies. I divided them with truth, One lock, one signature, and one perfect plan at a time.